Yeah, a very big thanks for staying with us on your wonderful breakfast show coming to you from your channel of champions, ACBN. Of course, we're talking about Rise Africa and having had our news in brief, and of course, a look at the newspapers for what they have for us as news headlines. We proceed to take in the third segment of the program, which is People's Parliament, a segment specially designed for every one of us, our viewers, our esteemed viewers out there to basically air your views and your reactions towards national issues. This morning, like I said before we went on that break, we shall be looking strictly at Nigeria's political sector this morning. And of course, we all know that if you've been following news trends lately, especially in recent times whereby there have been this defection and all that from the ruling party to a major opposition from the opposition as well, to it's a vice versa thing. And of course, looking at how PDP as well has been able to handle its internal challenges in recent times, and of course some other ideologies of the party. Don't forget, it's sometimes really good to hear from the horse's mouth, which is why we have this morning some representatives of the ruling People's Democratic Party in Nigeria. Of course, I have with me the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Ali Mosho. That's, of course, Prince Adelaja, and of course, the secretary of the parties in the same area in the state, in Lagos State precisely. And of course, that's Akindele Ujo. Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Moderator.
I'm really delighted to have you this morning.
I'm fine to be here.
And so, how's it been?
It's been fine.
Okay, well, let's hold
Good
still
morning,
now.
yes.
Okay, and of course, our Honorable Secretary, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to have you as well.
Okay.
Well, like I
Good
said, we
morning,
shall.
viewers.
Okay, well, like I said, we shall be looking at issues this morning revolving around PDP, and well, this may have been brought here this morning so that they can fully give us the ideologies, and of course, it's like I said, it's usually cool to sometimes hear from the horse's mouth. So feel free, the numbers are on the screen. Let's have your views, your reactions, and of course, your own contributions towards these issues. Don't forget, it's something that really, really affects even the man on the street, talking about policies being made, and of course, the kind of developments undergoing in the ruling political party in the nation. So I still have this gentleman in the studios this morning. Of course, let me start with the chairman of the party in Alimosho. Good to still have you in the house this morning, sir.
Thank you
Now,
once again.
my honorable chairman, and how would you say that over the years, Nigeria has experienced leadership under democratic leadership under the mantle of the PDP, and well, there have been reactions. While some have embraced some of the ideologies, some, especially the opposition, have kicked against the way and manner with which PDP representatives have handled the country's business. Now, where would you stand? How would you say PDP has been able to fare with representing the people in due course and time?
Well, thank you very much. Let me start by saying that we are all aware that many people in Nigeria believe there is none of the party that has ideology. But I think that is very wrong. PDP has an ideology. The ideology of PDP is to ensure the stability of this nation, to ensure that the grassroots people are given good governance, to ensure that Nigeria remains an indissoluble nation. And I think for the past 14 years, we have done that creditably well. I want to say without any fear of contradiction that if not for PDP, there would have been a larger crisis in Nigeria than what we are having, because it is the only party that is truly national, that is able to bring everybody together, that is able to ensure the stability of the nation. And that we have done very well.
I like that. That paints quite some color for the PDP. And of course, well, let's hear from the secretary. Now, over the years also, there have been these allegations that PDP, the umbrella rather, which is basically one of the party's logo, major logo of the party, is actually shaking, and it's not been able to camp the members of the party. Where would you stand on that?
Good morning. Let me say that notion is wrong. PDP, like my chairman said, has really done creditably well. And when you are talking about the logo of the party, in fact, it has remained consistent, and things has been working very fine. You can't rule it out. A party as big as PDP, definitely there will be internal squabbles. But thank God the party has been able to manage it very, very well. And I can tell you, the few people you see going out, they are not comfortable with the way things are in the party. Definitely, there will be bad legs, but the way things are now, you can see it yourself.
Okay, let's halt on that. We have a first caller on the show. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to say good morning to my brother Adeolu and the guest that came to the program today. I think it's a welcoming idea because the People's Parliament and we have been concerned about Nigeria. So bringing the people for us to hear from the horse mouth is a welcoming idea. I'm not a politician. I don't belong to any party. But all what we normally say is that we criticize constructively to make sure that Nigeria will be a better place. You see, always I do come on speak on air. You see, I normally say that though PDP have not yet arrived, you understand, Nigerians are still expecting more from PDP. But having studied APC, the other party, I want to say that I don't think APC have a better alternative to PDP. I was reading on the page of the paper today, APC Publicity Secretary came out to say that they are going to hire a foreign consultant firm, you understand, to run their campaign in Nigeria, precisely ex-Obama campaign firm. This, election is very sensitive. What are the APC trying to say? You understand, they don't have confidence in people. They are ruling. Going out to bring a foreign consultant firm for, you understand, to run their campaign in Nigeria. You see, Nigerians are watching, and I do say it's not just about party, but it's about character. You understand? The people that have been ruling in their various states, what are the antecedents, what are the dividends of democracy that the various states, you understand, have enjoyed. Now, look at what is going on in the northern Nigeria. We all know what is going on. You understand? Most of it is political, doing everything possible to frustrate Jonathan regime. You understand? That is not good. In a true democracy, you understand, we agree, we are allowed a competitive, party. But whatever they're doing should be constructive. It's not that because you don't want this party to rule, you don't want this party to rule, you do everything to discredit the government and to scatter the government. It is very, very bad. So I'm appealing once more the Boko Haram to drop their arms. The government is calling them for dialogue. Let them come out for dialogue. You understand? Let's sit down together as brother and sister and end our mind. That is the only way Nigeria should move forward. And as well, the PDP as well should come out also with a better program. For example, one of the things Nigeria has been agitating for is the issue of power. You understand? Now that power has been privatized, the government shouldn't just relent. They should continue to make sure that we have stable electricity. With that, I believe that Nigeria is going to move forward. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
Well, a big thanks to our friend, our regular caller from Cotonou, John, and of course, you heard it from him this morning. Well, let's on this program, it's called People's Parliament because we have views, mixed reactions from our esteemed viewers out there, and our job is to react to these contributions. So let's start with how would you react? I haven't heard what John said from Cotonou, a concerned Nigerian from outside the country. How would you react to his contributions?
Well, let me thank John. Let me say also that PDP welcome opposition. Opposition make democracy to thrive better. It introduces competition. It makes people that is on the seat to want to do more to retain their seat. But I think when you're talking of...
We'll have that part later. Let's have this reaction quickly from Kano. Good morning, Mr. Austin.
Good morning, Mr. Adeolu. This is Austin calling from Kano. Good morning, gentlemen. This is Austin, and I just want to say that truth will always emerge when there is a free expression of opinion and ideas. In a true and competent democracy, opinions, ideas are allowed to thrive so that the truth will emerge. And let me reiterate what I said yesterday, because Mr. Michael from Delta seemed to have misunderstood my point. But at this point, I should say that even if we misunderstand ourselves, and that is the price and sacrifice we'll make for a better nation, so be it. On the discussion yesterday, I made a very critical point that if we have ministers in government who are corrupt and they are not being punished, when you have new ministers, they may take advantage of that situation and also perpetrate corruption. So it's a very simple point that the government of the day need to wake up in the fight against corruption. That is one of the monsters bedeviling us as a nation, and we cannot stop talking about it until we see improvement in the society. On this program, I've talked about the BOW principles of leadership, the beauty, order, and wonder. That is what we want in government. If things are going on well, if there is beauty, if there is order, if there is wonder, I don't think people will pick holes or faults about what the government is doing. I don't have problem with PDP. Like John said, I don't belong to any political party either. But you see, what we expected from PDP being the ruling party is that the infrastructure in our nation would have been reorganized, would have been revamped. Now, take for instance the missing $20 billion that is being talked about. Now, I read an article that in China, a 25,000 megawatts power plant was built at the cost of $26 billion. Now, Nigeria is battling with a power problem for years. In my opinion, in my humble and honest opinion, I think PDP has not done very well in the area of improving power supply. Now, if a party has not been able to solve the power problem for 14 years, I think that party has not done well. Power is critical to the development of our nation, to the running of industries, to creating employment, to tackling some of the crises that we have in the country. And we encourage the ruling party to devise pragmatic steps to making sure that infrastructures work and jobs are being created as a result of industrialization and power revolution. And most importantly, the PDP should fight corruption because that is the only way the party will get credibility. If you read online commentaries being posted, you discover that people are not too happy about the level of corruption that goes on in government. Now, I make particular reference to the Minister of Petroleum. If there is the payment of subsidy on kerosene, and in filling stations, kerosene is still sold at 130 naira, 150 naira, it means that the subsidy is not benefiting the masses. So PDP, as the name implies, People's Democratic Party. The people, the Nigerian people, their progress, their welfare should be uppermost in the minds of the leaders of PDP. That is the only way we can have confidence in the ruling party and give them all the necessary support. When they do well, of course, we praise them. But in terms of fighting corruption, in terms of power infrastructures, they have not done well. So we encourage them to design a better framework so that the country will be a better place and the country will run well. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Okay, well, a big thanks, Mr. Austin, a very good friend from Canada. That's a very wonderful contribution coming from you. I guess you heard him right this morning.
This is People's Parliament, and a lot of views are going to be expressed from different angles. I just pray that we have time to react to some of these critical issues. Well, the first caller from Cotonou was talking about opposition, and I started by saying that we have no problem with opposition, but credible opposition. APC is not an opposition. It's not a credible. It's not even a political party, as far as we are concerned.
So what is it?
It's a coalition.
Political party.
It's a coalition of desperately ambitious people that are seeking for power at all costs to destroy Nigeria. And that is as far as that. When we are talking of infrastructure, I want us to all know, we all know that Nigeria is a very complex place. The present president of Nigeria, President Jonathan Ebele Goodluck, has promised to reform the power sector and has been doing so. We can see what has been doing. The distribution aspect of electricity have been privatized, and the government is not relenting, because you can't just hand over the distribution to private people without increasing generation. So government is committed to increasing generation, so that at the end of the day, every Nigerian will have a sense of belonging. I agree with the last speaker that power is critical and that we need to do more, and we are going to do more about power generation. When we have power, power itself will generate self-employment for people that have ideas but are not able to express their ideas because they cannot afford.
Okay, let's have this reaction from Edo State. Our friend, Godson, good morning.
Morning.
Port Harcourt, good
Hello.
morning. Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling from Port Harcourt. This is God knows from Port Harcourt. I want to make my own contribution concerning the last caller that called, and I would like to go with him too. But one thing I would still want the people, what I want to say concerning the last caller that called, and so with some of the persons trying to just pull out power from the president. If you watch that very well, you understand they are not even wanting to make credible contributions when they come to government. But all they are interested is, I understand the sharing formula is no longer favoring them. And when you see what the party like APC is doing right now, they are all about criticizing the government of PDP of the day. I will stand by the word which 2 weeks back, Pastor Tunde Bakare said, that they asked him a question, why are you not joining the so-called APC again? He said he cannot join people who their governors are richer than their own state. Why do you think somebody like Pastor Tunde Bakare, who is a VP runner with Buhari, when he's talking about people like that, seeing the likes of people like Bola Tinubu, look at the kind of wealth he has amounted to himself as a former governor for 8 years. If somebody like Tinubu can have a new problem, he's been taken abroad for medical treatment, but that is a state he governed for 8 years, no medical facilities. They are only pointing on states where PDP has governed, PDP has governed. They are also governor. The president of Nigeria cannot start running the 36 states of the federation. Governors are doing things. If Raji Fashola in Lagos is doing well, he's not going around the whole Lagos state doing everything. He cannot go to Bagada, he cannot go to Fadi, he cannot go to Surulere. But with the commissioners working with him, you can see that he's doing well. That is what I want people to understand. You don't only criticize, you give constructive criticism to make the government go well. That is one important thing. Like you can see when they are talking about the missing billions in NFPC and CBN. What is the CBN governor saying? Today $72 billion is missing. Tomorrow $50 billion is missing. Tomorrow $20 billion. The next is $10 billion. Which part is the CBN governor doing? Is it now that his tenure is almost expiring and he knows he's not sure of returning back again, that he's now doing all these things? Where are we going to? Where is the nation going to? I wouldn't want to stand on the path where US should predict that Nigeria is going to break into parts. That's not the bone of contention. And look at now, why can't APC come up one day to say Borno State is on fire? In Rivers State, the governor is closing a judiciary, leaving only a particular judiciary in order to be giving him judgment.
Well, that's a wonderful contribution from a friend from Port Harcourt. Quite unfortunate that we didn't have the conclusion of that. But in as much as we had some of his viewpoints this morning, he was able to stand on something. Now, Honorable Secretary, how would you react to his contribution this morning? Now, basically on the allegation that the PDP government has been unable to objectively fight corruption in its stance in 14 years.
Yeah, thank you. I want to disagree with that notion, because if you look through, let's start from the last regime, that is Obasanjo regime. PDP government has vigorously fight corruption in all fronts. But you know, people, the way they will react to things, the way they will talk, they don't like a situation whereby government is doing the right thing. And like the president said, it is the people that are corrupt that are the one criticizing, because they themselves, they are corrupt. And Mr. John, the first caller, he made mention of the APC. And when you look at the APC, they are conglomerate of how do I call character failures. And you will not expect anything good from people like that. Definitely they will come out to say something negative about the present government. But look at it critically, you will discover that PDP is the only credible party, because when you look at the trend of the people that has been either tried for corruption, or whichever way you look at it, you see that it is the PDP government that is trying its own people. Are you telling me within the other party there are no people that are corrupt? No. But PDP, we are trying to sanitize the society. We are trying to bring out the bad eggs within us. But look at APC in Lagos State. Since 14 years, there are so many things they have done wrong, especially Tinubu. But that government cannot stand up. They are even covering Bola Kufureji, their present speaker. So I want to say that from the perspective of PDP, we are trying. We are doing our best. And I'm sure, though we are not there yet, but it's a continuous something. When you look at all the people together, you see that, yes, PDP really meant well for this country, and we are still going to do better.
Well, thanks. I wish to restate that, this platform this morning, it's not, for our viewers out there, it's not a platform for any campaign whatsoever. We brought this man here to actually express the ideologies of PDP. And of course, like I said earlier, it's usually good to hear from the horse's mouth. So we continue. Now, let me move to you, sir. Now, let's look at the way and manner with which PDP has been able to handle how would I say, the tense environment. Don't forget, in recent times, the party has been faced with strong internal crisis. How would you say the party was able to, or I wouldn't say it has been able to come out of it, but because we all know that there are still some stitches that need to be made. But how would you say that the party is handling such internal crisis?
Well, we have done very well. We have done very, very well. And I want to tell you that we are out of it already. The crisis, let us wait and see what is going to happen in the course of the next few months when the crisis erupts in the opposition. We are a party that has been there for the past 14 years. We are stable. We have internal mechanism for resolving our crisis. And if you see what happened in recent time in PDP, you will give us credit that we have been able to manage very well.
So are you saying that the appointment of Moazu as the chairman of PDP is somewhat a solution to the crisis?
The truth of the matter is that Moazu, as the chairman of the party, has brought in fresh air into the party.
Okay, let's take this reaction quickly. Sorry. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Maybe it's funny from Kogi. Yes, but looking at the ideology of the PDP, which is the question for the day, sometimes I tend to wonder whether the ideologies of PDP are actually feasible ideologies. Because it's for over 15 years now, PDP administration has been in government. I am still wondering about the ideology of defections, when members just defect at will and return at will. Is that an ideology in PDP where when the odds are down, everybody tends to opt out to another party? I also have the problem of where we have a recycling of leaders. Since 15 years, we have been seeing ministers who have been ministers or governors and the holding political parties. Does the PDP ideology involve the youth at all? Because I'm not seeing any youthful, vibrant youth into the political circle of the PDP administration. So I tend to wonder if it is also an ideology in PDP that a road like the local Japan road be awarded in about 2000 and still under construction up to today. So we are prompted to wonder what is really going on in this country. And with the distinguished men that are sitting there, I would like you to buttress on the ideologies of PDP. I'm not personally comfortable with the defection and how members defect at will and return at will. That does not make it credible democracy. So PDP as a leading party, what's the ideology behind security when we spend use some of money in budgetary provisions and end up nowhere? How do we explain the ideology behind budgetary provisions? Money are not being spent only to be returned to the coffers and disappear into thin air.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Now, I'm sure you have a reaction to that, sir.
Ideology does stop people from defecting. Defection is part of democracy. People are free to come in and go out. It happens everywhere all over the world. The issue, what we are saying is that if some people from PDP, if an ordinary member defects, nobody cry about it. But if you come to the house, for instance, on the platform of this party and you are opting out, you should be honorable enough to relinquish the privilege that have brought you there. That is what we are talking about. People are free to defect. People are defecting from other parties to PDP. People can defect from PDP to other parties. But there's a difference. I think the moderator has talked about people defecting from PDP to another party and from another party.
Yes.
It is people that are defecting that are leaving PDP in the house at the governorship level that are actually defecting. Those that are coming from APC are not defecting from anything because there's no party yet. Many of those people that are coming back to us are not even carry member of APC yet. It's a new coalition, a new concussion. And many of these people have not even registered as member of that party. So if they come, they are coming back to PDP as partyless people. So that is not defection.
I guess it's becoming quite funny this morning, sir. It's really ridiculous.
If you look at, look at Honorable Amdele, for instance. He justified himself that, he didn't defect to Labour. He decided to join Labour because he was a partyless man.
That means it was an ACN.
He was elected by ACN, not APC.
And ACN is in
existence again. When ACN now merged with other parties and become APC, he doesn't want to be part of APC. That is what is happening to many of those people that are coming back to PDP from their party because it's not yet a party. They are just going around registering people. And all these people that are coming to us, you will see how this thing will be tested in court. You will see that they are not carrying members and therefore they are free to come to PDP. But you cannot leave PDP because the PDP has no faction. We are not saying you should not go, but leave the mandate of the people because that mandate was not given to you as an individual, but given to the party. If you go to, me and you will vote at election. You don't vote for any individual. You vote for the logo of the party. So that mandate belongs to the party. And therefore, if you are leaving, goodbye. You can go, but leave our mandate. Let us go back to the people to see who they still want to give their mandate. And that is, I'm sure that is what is going to happen by the court made its own pronouncement.
Okay, well, a big thanks. Quite unfortunate that time wouldn't permit us to look at some other issues this morning. But before we go, I'm sure that these gentlemen have a few things to say to our viewers out there now. In preparation for 2015 elections, INEC has come out to say that about 60 million permanent voters cards are ready. And of course, that's to stress that that part of the that parastatal is really ready for elections in 2015. Now, how would you say that Nigerians should go about talking about objectivity here? Not politics, objectivity. How do you urge Nigerians to go about in preparing for 2015 polls? Quickly, sir.
Yeah, thank you. The first thing is, as a Nigerian, we should go to where we registered and make sure that we get our voters card and in readiness for the coming election. And if by adventure we got there, things are not working well, we have the necessary places we can make our complaints to. And equally, our mind will determine what we'll do. Because on the election day, it is you and your conscience. But the best thing is vote for your conscience.
I like that. Vote for your conscience. And for Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes, you cannot separate election from politics. They are the same. So we are saying to the people that make sure you get your cards, go in time to be able to register your objection where it is necessary to do so. But most importantly, make sure that on the day of election you vote and your vote counts.
I like that. That really stresses the fact that every electorate out there has a power in his thumb and express that power by voting for, like he said, your conscience. That's a very good way of actually becoming a good critic for whatsoever happens. If you don't vote, I'm really sorry to say that it's not, you don't stand a chance of being a critic, constructive or not. So good they exercise that franchise for you. And of course, well, it's just quite unfortunate, like I said, that we can't just proceed later than now. And it's been wonderful having you as our esteemed viewers out there this morning, as our contributors, Mr. Austin from Kano, our friend from Kutano, Mr. John, as well as some other wonderful men out there who have been able to make it a time out with us this morning, thereby being part of our success. Until we come your way tomorrow for another edition of Arise Africa, I remain Adeolu Balogun, and of course with the ACBN crew, we wish you the very best of the day. Stay blessed and stay with God.
ACBN, the channel of champions.